Good morning. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us for another edition of the Morning Breeze, man. Always rocking with you guys, as always, man. Outside of me, I got my guy, Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC, in the building. That's right. 12th overall pick, Jordan JC.
The best show for Chicago sports.
Dangerous. But dangerous, man. But there's a lot of flawed logic.
Shoulda known.
Breeze Nation. What's good? It's your boy, Pat the Designer. Back at it again. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love for another edition of the Windy City Breeze Morning Breeze edition. Pat the Designer, Jordan JC.
Yeah.
He's got a steak somewhere over there.
That's right.
On today's episode, we got to talk about some of these schedule leaks, some of these dropped games that we got a little bit early. Got to take a look at which games do we think are actually important on the schedule. For Ben Johnson, for Caleb Williams, for the team overall. Which game are we most excited about? And of course, we got to talk about this Chicago Bulls team. Bulls go out and get the number 12 overall pick last night. Everybody and their mama is losing their minds.
Yep.
What do you mean? What's
Coin
happening?
flip. Coin
We
flip.
lost the coin flip. The date's 5/13/2025, 7:04 in the morning. And Jordan JC put the word out. We are not back up. We are, in fact, not back up.
We are still where we were the other day. In mediocrity.
Down.
Still in mediocrity. God.
That's all right.
Well, hey, come
I'm
on.
going to explain why that logic is flawed, though. All that more in today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. I know what to do.
Come on. Push the button. Come on. Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push a button.
You heard what she said.
Y'all heard what Sue Young said. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, man. Mr. Beanie, what's going on, my guy? You feeling, Jordan?
Pat, what is going on? Yeah, I had high hopes yesterday. I know we're going to get into it, but yeah, it just seems like every time the Bulls seem to be right there, they're not. They're far away. So going to have to deal with the same mess. But hey, on a brighter note, this Bears schedule leak is something to be exciting about. So as always, let's talk Bears.
Let's talk a little Bears. We will lead Bears on this show because we care. Because we care. You know what I mean? But no, man, listen. Chicago Bears, we got a couple of games leaked on the schedule already. Of course, the one that Fox announced yesterday, week 16, the Chicago Bears will be taking on the Green Bay Packers. That is going to be interesting. Here's the big thing about it. Can you get to the point where that game matters? It's a fun game.
Or does it matter?
Oh, well, that's the thing. It's a fun game. It's an exciting game. It's like, oh my God, we're gonna get this is great. You got to get to the point where the game matters. If not, it's gonna be bad. You know what I mean? Like that's week 16 is fun. When I saw it, I was like, oh, that's cool. If we've got 5 wins by then, this means nothing to me.
This would be just like last year. Repeat.
So there's a lot that we will have that conversation as well. We've also got it. Adam Schefter tweeted this out the day after Thanksgiving on Black Friday. The Chicago Bears will take on the Philadelphia Eagles.
Let's go.
It's going to be a tough matchup.
That's a
test. Be a tough matchup. That's a test for you. I expect that to be a strong test early on. With a couple of the leaks that we do have, we've also got. I think there was another one that somebody dropped in the Discord. Let me double check, make sure I didn't miss one. But I believe those are the 2 that we have confirmed right now. With those 2 being out already, I mean, like the Eagles one is really the one that is exciting because it feels like you're going up against the team that you're trying to mirror. And I think that to me is that's where you go, okay, let's see how we really stack up with the things that we did this offseason.
Yeah, I mean, you want to be like the Super Bowl champs. That's the blueprint, right? You want to kind of be in lockstep with what they're doing. And I mean, in my opinion, I think the Bears are clearly on the uptrend of being in that going in that direction. You know, you have technically your quarterback. You know, you want to try to solidify that this year and seeing how Caleb Williams progresses. You got your bevy of wide receiver talent. You got your defensive line that still kind of needs a little bit more help at edge rusher, but I mean, that's been addressed a lot with the interior pressure that we've acquired over the offseason. You got your backs, you got your cornerbacks, your DBs, your safeties. You got a really complete team, and then of course, the big thing that matters that kind of puts it all together is you have a very competent coaching staff. And so we'll see how we match up against the Eagles. It is going to be tough. I agree with you, McMuffin. But, hey, at the same time, that's the reason why you play these games against some of the better teams is you want to see how do we actually equal up to or how do we pan out versus the better competition in the league. And so this would be the toughest competition. I think maybe we get a win. We will see. We'll see how the Bears play.
Well, by of course, you think we're going to get a win. You're seeing it all through Bears.
Mr. Meaty for a reason, of course. I see it through state glasses. Let's go. Let's go.
I'm seeing through state glasses has to be the statement of the day. The time on that Packers game is TBD, but the fact that it is going to be I believe this is the nationally televised game here. Does this mean that the rivalry is back? There's one of only 2 games on, I believe, that day. Does this mean that the rivalry is back exciting to the rest of the world? Because when I look at when I look at Bears Packers, and yes, I saw this narrative coming out yesterday. They're like, oh, people care about the Bears side of this thing again. I was like, I don't know if they do. I think Bears Packers just always brings in money.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to get a national Bears-Packers game no matter what. They know what Chicago is going to do. We're going to watch. Yeah. By the way, I will say this. They're not nationally televising these games for the Packers. It's for
That's a shot. That's a nice shot. Oh, that's a nice shot.
How many people live in Green Bay, Wisconsin?
Oh, boy. Here you go. Where's Jimmy?
Let me Google this real quick.
Oh, boy. They say the whole crowd came out for the draft. I think that's
the whole city was there.
The whole city was for the draft.
Let's see. You know what? You got to go more than that, though. Let's go Wisconsin.
Early today.
Let's go Wisconsin population, right?
Oh, boy.
Let's go Wisconsin population. 5.9 million. Shout out to that. Most of those people don't have cable.
They all go to Jimmy's house.
Chicago population, 2 point. Just the Chicago alone, 2.6. Just the Chicago alone, 2.6. Illinois population, 12 million. It's not for the Packers.
It's not for the Packers. It's all good. I mean, hey, but no, I think it still will be. And it's. I bet you thought that was for you, didn't you?
Pat the designer from the top row. We haven't seen May in a while.
FGB. But no, I think that the rivalry still is alive in a lot of people's minds. I mean, for me, it would still be exciting to watch because I think maybe the tables are turning, the tides are turning in our favor. I mean, in the words of Seth freaking Rollins, the greatest quarterback in the NFC North is undefeated at Lambeau Field. That's all I'm going to say. And that could be the storyline going into this year is that, hey, what does Caleb Williams do with that? Now that he's technically perfect, we want to know, how does he build off of that? Is there going to be, a changing of the guard in this rivalry where you'll see more Bears wins than not? I mean, we're being honest, the Packers have had our number for years now. Whether it be the Aaron Rodgers, whether it be the Brett Favre's, whether it be the Jordan Loveses. And so, we want to see whether or not this will turn around, and we have the team to do it. We have the team to compete, obviously, with them game in and game out. And so got to see if we put it together. So I think this game is definitely important still.
And I think this is great. Shout out Jimmy Hoffman. I love to hate the Bears. You want to know what I do love that about Jimmy Hoffa?
I love that.
Is that he at least is honest.
Yes.
About how he actually feels about the Bears. Because my favorite thing ever was before the Bears beat the Packers in Lambeau. Oh, we don't even care. Like, y'all not even really competition for us. You just little brother. You're not really even competition for us. We're not even paying attention to you. I mean, it is what it is. Y'all worried about us. We're not worried about you. Bears beat the Packers. All of a sudden, there was fire LaFleur, fire him. We can't take it no more.
Yeah, they were having pandemonium in that stadium,
bro. They were doing all that. I was like, please fire LaFleur. Like that would be amazing.
Go right ahead, brother. Goodness gracious, they lost their minds.
Oh, it was great. I was so happy. Well, you look at the schedule, Jordan, JC, and you look at the teams that are going to be on the schedule. We're still waiting for some of these other games to drop here. And I'm sure I'll say this, they're going to drop throughout the day. We will have 95% of the schedule before the schedule is out. There may be a couple of games that are flipped one way or the other, but we will have most of the schedule before the schedule is out. But is there a game one here that the Bears take on that you are most excited to see? And I'll caveat it with this: outside of Bears Packers.
Oh, absolutely. Specifically, I want to see what they do against the Washington Commanders. The Commanders had a really good offseason as well.
Yeah.
I think that is the biggest one that stands out in my mind because when we were, I believe, 4-2 going into that game, seconds away from winning, that's when the season just completely just went down the drain. Just a bit outside. And then everybody said, well, the team started plummeting for whatever reason, just the mental fortitude just got lost. That team, that loss kind of just it unraveled throughout the season. And so that's why I think that matchup in itself, for various reasons, obviously the Caleb and Jayden Daniels comparison, him being the quarterback and the offensive rookie of the year and almost getting to the Super Bowl in his year one. Like, there's so many expectations for him and how special he'll be. And we passed on that guy to get the guy that's not going to be as good as him. There's a lot of good storylines in this matchup. And I think maybe even outside of the Packers rivalry, this could be the new rivalry as well for the Bears just because of the young guys. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they'll play against each other as well.
I mean, listen, it should be because we've played them for some reason every season for the past 5 years.
Yeah.
It legitimately might be a rivalry now. Like I've never seen this where we've played a non-division opponent every single year for the past 5 years. But here's the tough part about this, right? And why I'm not excited about it, because I don't think that there's not really a win situation because of how that went in, right? Like, if I knock in a game winner on you and you beat me the next game, I got a game winner on you, bro. They're going to show this game forever. You got to live with this.
Mm-hmm.
The only way that the Washington Commanders game is exciting to me, which I don't think will actually play out for the Bears, which I would love if it does, is if the Bears beat them by 50.
Ooh.
Or 30.
Just completely eviscerate them.
Because that's the only way to really get them back. It's like, okay, you punched me in the mouth. That hurt. It messed up our season. We about to dog walk y'all.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only way where I come out of that game and I'm like, yeah, I want somebody from Washington to say something now. That don't mean y'all, that little game winner don't mean. No, the game winner still hurt. If I win by 3, unless I win on a game winner, if I game win you back, that's a little bit different.
Yeah, if it's like a last-second Hail Mary.
But even then, but it got to be something like that. It got to be like Caleb throwing the football. It can't be a Cairo Santos. Yeah,
you know what I mean? Look. You got to be off the arm of Caleb. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, to me, there's a no-win situation there. Now, of course, you can win the game, and that is the better option no matter what. But I just feel like for smack talking purposes, I'm not looking at that game just because, and I do think it'll be primetime, just because that's the one for me where I'm like, yeah, but we got a dog walk, y'all, and I don't think we had the ability to do it. The game that I am actually most excited to watch and to see the Bears go out there and play, that I do think is going to be a big game for this team, is actually that Philly game. I think we touched on it a little bit. The importance of being able to go out there and match up against the best of the best is going to be, what would that be? Is that 2 months into the season? Right? When's the NFL season start? August? September?
August, let's see.
2025 season starts in September. So that will be 2 months into the season.
Yeah.
That I think that's one where, especially if you're competitive, and I'm assuming we're going to play some more divisional opponents early on in the season this year. I heard that they were trying to implement a rule. Somebody put this out. They were trying to implement a rule that you can't play a divisional opponent after week 6. I don't know if that's the case because the Bears end up playing their divisional opponents so late into the season. And it basically is just your whole season is riding on this moment. But I think that Philly game is one for me where I look at it and I'm just like, this is the game that really shows you how you stack up versus playoff teams. Because everybody, here's the thing, and no disrespect to any of the other teams, right? But like, if the Bears go 3-3 in the division, it's a hard-fought division. Good job. You know what I mean? Like that's the expectation. You can't get blown out in your division. But if the Bears go 3-3 in the division, that is the expectation of what this division should be. You lost one against a tough team. You won one against a tough team. That makes sense. The real question for me with a lot of these playoff teams, also you look at the NFC North, one of the best divisions of football last season, everybody was done by week 2 of the playoffs.
That's it.
That was it.
Just 1 week more.
So how do you match up against a team that actually is going to the Super Bowl? And that's the only team you've got on your schedule that actually is one of those level of teams. I think that's going to be a big, where are we stacking up right now versus the top team moments, because that's a measuring stick that the Bears have to have a conversation on.
Yeah, with all the excitement going into the season, I'm fully on board with that one as well. Again, as we mentioned before, you want to blueprint that team. There's a reason why they are the champions. There's a reason why they've been successful as a team for quite some time now. You know, they put it all together. They addressed all the most important things first. You see how they address the offensive line. You see how they address the defensive line. They get the pressure from the trenches, and then they worked outwardly. And you know they got a dog in Jalen Carter. They got dogs at the DBs, as the whites, as you call them.
The amazing whites.
The amazing whites.
The amazing whites.
Yeah, they have dogs all over the place, and so yeah, I definitely want to see how we fare going up against them. As I said, I think we will win, but we will.
Somebody messed that up. By the way, it's 192 in here, 20 likes on the video. Hit that like button, man. If you have not done so, subscribe to the page. Somebody messed up amazing whites, and they're like, what do they call it? It's like the white elites, right? And I was like, oh no.
Totally different subject there. Yeah, oh boy.
Those are DBs. That's a different coverage altogether, actually.
Oh boy. That's hilarious. But you know what? I actually I'm a little bit more excited also too, because I'm looking at, obviously the teams outside of the division, but you bring up how tough the division can be this year. You say, going 3-3. I'm excited to see Detroit versus Chicago for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Ben Johnson coming from Detroit, taking some of the staff, Randall L as well, and making his own team and starting out as a new head coach. I want to see how he fares against, his mentor in a sense, and Dan Campbell, and how Dan Campbell and the Lions kind of bounced back from, the first round exit. Obviously they were hurt a lot on defense. They picked up some really nice pieces in the offseason as well, and they still have a really, really good complete team. Again, we talk about, a team that you want to try and blueprint after. Ben Johnson clearly is trying to do that. We see the running backs that he's trying to bring in the building. We see the wide receivers as well. That it's almost mirroring as well with that, team to team. And so I want to see how we match up against the Lions.
Yeah, 100%. Listen, the Bears, I think the divisional games are going to be important, especially with the fact that I agree with Bearlissimo on this. Like, I don't know if I'm not going to say it's nothing to fear in our division, but
yeah,
I think there was a lot of beating ourselves last year. There was a lot of self-beating.
Yeah.
There was a lot of self-inflicted wounds last season.
Good catch.
That was almost.
Oh, boy.
Jeez. There was a lot of self-inflicted wounds last season. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where you got to You got it. There was a lot of what now? No, calm down now. Calm down. You get out of here.
That's happening.
Get out of here. We don't need you here. Pure and utter domination.
Oh, Mike made an appearance.
There was a lot of self-inflicted wounds in the divisional games last season where it was like you could have won this game if you don't go down and just absolutely botch a call, right? Yeah. Or if you don't put a player out there on the field goal kick that absolutely is just terrible.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like there's so many of those moments that I do think play into last season with how the Bears came out of a lot of those divisional games now coming into this season. I think that you have to correct those things. And again, I've said this time and time again. How much does Ben Johnson just have common sense add to this team?
Mm-hmm.
How much does Ben Johnson? Hey, right there. There we go. Just quick timeout for you there. I mean, like how much does that add to the success of this team? Now, again, I said this on the Bears pod yesterday because I was doing my hot takes from rookie minicamp. You know it's a slow content day when you're doing rookie minicamp.
You're doing a lot of hot takes. Oh boy.
Yeah, when you do a rookie minicamp hot takes, call it life. I think there can be a ton of improvement for the Chicago Bears this season. A ton of improvement. I'm talking about, I think Ben Johnson could be the coach that we think he is. I think Caleb Williams could take steps in the right direction to be the 4,000-yard passer. I think this defensive line can be absolutely astounding. I think this offensive line can actually be an answer. I think all of these things can be great, and you can still be a 9-win team because this schedule is ridiculous. When you look at the teams that we play, there's some times where it's just like we got punched in the mouth. Teams that it feels like the Bears should be able to beat. You look at the New York Giants. I feel like we should be able to get that one. I'm going to be honest with you. We should beat the Steelers.
Oh, come on, man. Yeah.
We should beat the Steelers. We should beat the Saints. We should beat the Cowboys. Although Dak Prescott being healthy changes a lot.
Yeah, the regular season Cowboys are a problem.
You got the Raiders. Is Genty going Genty? We'll see. You know what I mean?
That'd be a nice matchup.
But there's these games on the schedule where it's like you should win. And yet, the Eagles are ridiculously tough. The Ravens are ridiculously tough. What are the 49ers? Are they bouncing back? The Commanders, we know what they are. The Bengals can put up 600 points in a game. Now, they may give up 600 points.
They give it up that much, yeah.
601.
Yeah, but they're going to get what you on
offense.
They
can put up 50 on your heads.
Yeah.
Like there are all of these games within this that it's like I think the Bears can have immense improvement this season, and we can still be sitting here at the end of the year going, "Yeah, that was a hard-fought season, and you got to find a way to build on it now."
I think that's what makes this season more exciting than the last one. I mean, last year when we were going into the season, we were talking about how weak the schedule was at the beginning and how we could take advantage of, the start, get everybody kind of acclimated, get everybody into a groove. We kind of did. Yeah, 4-2.
We went 4-2.
It was a really good start going into the end, and then of course the blunder at Washington going into the break. But my thing is, there is no breaks in this season. There is no, we got a little sweet spot where we can maybe have a number of games where we know we're going to beat some teams. I feel like every team, for the most part, it's going to be competitive. You mentioned, the Raiders and the Ashton Genty. Like, I mean, hey, they might come out swinging as well. Got Brock Bowers. That could be the Genty Monangai game.
Oh, big Monangai. I am a big Monangai.
I'm just saying he looks good and
he looks great, phenomenal.
But
great running back, phenomenal running back.
Seventh rounder.
Love what he brings to the table. Phenomenal 7th rounder. The underdog, some say. The underdog, some might say. I'm getting better at that.
Yeah, you are.
The more I hear him.
I close my eyes. I might be a little cold.
I'm getting better at that.
Pretty good. No, there's no like real break in the season, and I think that actually is what is more exciting, is because you're going to get a challenge pretty much every other week to see how you stand, going into the end of the season.
Yeah, let's take a quick break here. Let's do a word from our sponsors, and when we come back, we want to talk about what games are most important for Ben Johnson, for Caleb Williams, and for the Chicago Bears overall. We'll talk about that, and of course, the Chicago Bulls getting the 12th overall pick. Gut punch time. Yeah, we'll be right back right after words from our friends over at Aura. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching the show. Today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by Aura. Have you ever done a Google search on your own name? You'd be surprised what pops up. Your full name, email address, home address, health records, your relatives. It's all out there. And that's why I've been using Aura, the sponsor of today's video. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits opt-out requests just for me. Cleaning up my information not only helps reduce the amount of spam I get, but it protects me from hackers who could use that information to help them access my social media, bank accounts, and other sensitive information. It's really simple to set up. I don't have to download several apps or go to things like antivirus, VPN, password management, parental controls, identity theft, but you can get all of that in one place with Aura. I get everything at one affordable price as well. You may already have one or two of these tools, but not having Aura is like leaving the front door locked while leaving the back door and windows wide open. For you to be able to take advantage of Aura, we got a special deal for you here today. Stop data brokers from exposing your personal information. Go to my sponsor at https:/aura.com/the Windy City. Again, that is aura.com/the Windy City to get a 14-day free trial and see how much of your information is being sold. Welcome back. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Been reviewed up. By the way, Jordan JC,
what do we got?
Good authority. We are over 100 in the chat. Over 200 in the chat. Over 300 in the chat. Over 400 in the chat. Yeah. There we go.
Good morning.
Cherry on top.
All right.
Let's get back into this conversation, man. Talking about the schedule.
Like I'm Usher.
You said what?
I just did it like I was Usher or something.
No, that was concerning. By the way, is Usher just walking around with cherries?
Bro, I think he got like a whole bag of them in his fur coat, whatever he does.
Every event I see Usher pull up to, he got cherries for chicks at the event. Like, what is he just? Does Usher have a cherry sponsor, or is he on the mic just like, somebody give me a cherry?
There goes my cherry.
Ooh, he went for it. He didn't get it, but he went for it.
Whatever.
Let's keep the conversation going, my guys. We talked about the Chicago Bears and games that we're excited for in Bears schedule. Let's talk about some of the games that are the most important for the Chicago Bears. Let's start it off with our new head coach, Ben Johnson. I think you touched on this one a little bit here, but what is the most important game for Ben Johnson in your mind?
Well, I did mention it, and I think it will be very, very telling. But the games versus his old team, the Detroit Lions, in the division, I think are going to be very important just for the psyche of Ben Johnson to try and maybe get over the head coaching hurdle versus the OC hurdle. A lot of people are saying, well, as offensive coordinator, he's this genius, he's this savant, he's this guy that just is otherworldly, but he isn't proven as a head coach. Can he really manage a whole team? Can he, make sure that everything is in order, when it comes to game time? And so that's where I think the hurdle will kind of be crossed if he goes into Ford Field and also at Soldier Field and does what he's supposed to do, manage the game properly versus like how we saw the old guard Matt Eberflus not do so well when going up against the Lions, and they came back from a large deficit, because of bad coaching. So you want to see how he manages the game. If the Bears are up, how does he close out the game? Those are the things that I think will kind of solidify him as a good head coach.
You know what? I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. Like I get that, and I do understand that. I think that is going to be very important for him in the long run. I think that's more of a mental thing for him with, actually, okay, it's like you said, the passing of the torch, right? Like you went up against your old alma mater, and okay, now it's my turn to take over this division. I hope that he Mike Ditka's it and just goes out there and absolutely eviscerates the Lions. But
of course,
I think that first game against the Packers, because of the back and forth that him and LaFleur have been having, is going to be so important because it's like that. I'm not gonna lie to you. That may reignite the rivalry because that game is not only in Green Bay. That game is probably earlier on in the season, could set the tone for how well the Bears are going to continue through the rest of the season. Is a confidence booster. Look how they left the season with a win.
Yeah.
That is they are big bro. They are the ones that we're punching up. As much as this sucks, we're punching up. Like that to me is I think that's the more important game for the Bears, because if you can find a way to win that game in Lambeau Field yet again, now that's, you know what that is? It's the confirmation that everything that happened last season wasn't a loss. Everything that you went through last season, now you got to win some games before that, right? If it's the first game of the season, that's different. But if you're 0-4 and then you beat the Packers, it don't mean nothing. But like I think that to me is going to be so important for Ben Johnson to start this season off with with the shots that him and LaFleur have been taking back and forth at each other, and two, just with your quarterback psyche and how well you're going to be able to navigate this season. He's feeling on a high still from that Packers game last season. That to me, I think, is going to be the best scenario for the Bears coach to get a great start. And I don't even know the last Bears head coach that won the first Packers game.
It wasn't Matt Nagy?
No. Matt Nagy's first Packer game, Khalil Mack got the strip sack.
Oh, we were up in the first half.
We were up. We were killing them. We were excited, and then we were clapped.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers came back off of them Percocets. Molly Percocet.
He did come back and then just beat us in the second half. Yeah. Okay.
Never chase a pick. Don't chase no pick. I said pick.
No, I'm with you on that one. I do agree that
you know what? Andrew Bryant or Andre Bryant, I apologize. Thomas Brown won his first Packer game.
Hey, excuse me. Yeah. Mike Tomlin 5.8. That's doggone right. Thank you, Andre Bryant, for bringing up the GOAT.
In theory, you could still go with the Tomlin 2.0 because he did lose just about every single game at the end of the season and then get a win that ends up technically being meaningless.
That's all right. It was meaningful in Bears' hearts. He started the engine that is now us dominating the Green Bay Packers. Okay, I'm just gonna say.
What if like the Bears go on this run and the beginning of the story is Thomas Brown?
I'm telling you, man. What
Thomas Brown did for this team can never be quantified.
Have the man have a whole plaque and a whole like statue
Thomas
built.
Brown just looking at the team from the outside.
Y'all ain't no good. Y'all do me like that.
Do me like that, daddy.
Why you sound like that?
Don't you do me like that? Why you do me like that?
Don't you do me like that?
Don't you do me like that?
No, I think that's a very good measuring stick as well. Is obviously going up against the Packers. My thing is, and if we're switching to Caleb because we both mentioned for the head coach, but for Caleb Williams. I think for him as a quarterback, I'm tempted to say the very first game, but again, I think I want to go with the psyche game. I think I want to go with him versus the Commanders. Everybody is so up in arms about this rivalry that maybe it is there, maybe it isn't. But of course, the media is going to make it what it is. The last two Heisman Trophy winners, before this past year, and and Jaden and Caleb taking first, Jaden taking next, Jaden having the better rookie season, Jaden almost getting his team to the Super Bowl, Caleb blundering and having 3 offensive coordinators and just having a whole slew of issues and chaos in his rookie year. However, he still did okay in managing and getting through his rookie year, despite having a ton of sacks. So we want to see, like, how will it look going into this season? How would it look in the matchup? They both have better teams. They both had a really good offseason. They acquired really good players to improve the team. And so I think just for the psyche of Caleb and also for the psyche of the Bears, I think that matchup is going to be important as well.
No, you know, I that one I do agree with you with. I think that's going to be huge for the Bears because like the Caleb's trying to prove stuff. He's trying to prove that he should have been the best guy taking it. He's the best guy off of the board, that he's the best quarterback taken off of the board. And you can only do that by beating a guy. Now, I will say this, right? Does it mean that, you know, talent-wise, maybe Jaden isn't still better? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see as their careers play out. Well, we'll see as their careers play out. Year one was amazing for Jaden Daniels. It really was. So, like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you can go apples to apples and say, oh, you should have took this guy versus this guy. But I want the guy that wins.
Mm-hmm.
And if Caleb Williams finds a way to win in a bounce-back game, you know he's got that game scheduled. You know that's a game that he's focused on. Are you checking off the games on your checklist? Right? The games that are important for us, it is what it is, but like we're more looking to be entertained and looking to have that itch that we have scratched to beat the Packers or to beat the Lions or, you know, to beat the Cowboys, different things like that. Those are the fun games where you go out and you get wins. But like the important games that Caleb is going to have circled, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head. Excuse me, hit the nail on the head. I think he's Detroit for one. I think that Washington is probably at the top of that list. I think that Philly is right underneath there. I think you're probably talking about the Bengals because of the Burrow matchup. Can you outdo a Burrow?
Mm-hmm.
Like there are certain goals that Caleb is going to have that where it's like it's not about am I gonna have 600 yards in this game and 7 touchdowns? It's like, can I beat that dude because that dude's the best, and I need to be better than the best. Can my team go out there and beat that guy because they're better than the best? Like those are the things. That's how it seems like to me Caleb Williams operates in his thought process. Let's finish it out with this with George JC. Bears overall. What's the most important game for the Bears overall this season?
Well, I mean, what other game would you go with than the first one? In my opinion, you got to get off the bus. Just honestly, hot and ready. Haven't heard that in a while, right? Hot and ready.
We got to get off the bus running. Oh, hot and ready. Oh, getting off the bus, hot and ready.
Hot and ready.
Will they be coming fast?
Coming fast. They are going to be coming fast. Oh boy. My thing is, yes, you're seeing the standard being set right now. You see some of the highlights and the clips from mini camp. The way they're being coached up. I love the highlight you put up, the clip of Eric Bieniemy just grilling the running backs.
Piece is
like,
coming out from that.
Oh my goodness. He's like, what? Why are you knocking the cones? The cones are right there. Wait, get the cone ain't moving. Cone ain't moving. Why are you looking down?
Yeah.
Why are you looking down? It's like I love the way I think you can see why maybe Eric Bieniemy didn't get a head coaching position.
A little bit.
But you can also see why he's a really good positional coach. Like he is a good motivator. But that is just a microcosm. What I think hopefully this team will be going into the season is you see just how much hard work these coaches are putting into these players, the development, the effort, the time, and how will that show itself in week one? Week one, we got to really see what is the standard that's going to be set on defense? What's the standard that's going to be set on offense? You know, obviously Ben Johnson said it's going to be a challenge, but hopefully by the season, you know, you've worked out some of the kinks, you've worked out some of the issues, and everybody's on the same page. And so I would love to see how they just start the season.
Yeah, we'll see. Listen, the start to the season is going to be massively important, and I don't believe in. You know, I asked J-Mac, I was like, how much momentum is carried over from a previous season? He was like, listen, like, if you want to talk about momentum, the players are completely different. The coaching staff is completely different. Like, nothing is the same as it was the previous year. So how can you have momentum based off of that? You know what I mean? That I think is going to be where, to me, the conversation is, if you start the season, can you get the ball back rolling? It is that object in motion stays in motion. Can you get the object back in motion? That's the big question. Let's finish it out with this, Jordan JC. And I got to run upstairs real quick. It sounds like a war is happening, so I got to go be a dad real quick. But I want to start you off on this topic before I do end up doing that. Chicago Bulls yesterday. By the way, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. I know what to do. Chicago Bulls yesterday, 12th overall pick. When I do get back, and I'll be back in just a quick second here, I want to explain to you why a coin flip wouldn't have changed much. But Jordan JC, what were your thoughts on the Bulls getting the 12th overall pick?
Well, here's how I feel about that. The 12th overall pick, I feel like the Bulls obviously they weren't going to move up. If we're being honest, and I have my own personal thoughts about this, guys, you all know in the chat that I think the Bulls have been stuck in mediocrity for quite some time now. And so, you know, all the excitement going into yesterday is, oh, we lost the coin flip, and oh, this might be the time where we move up into the number 4. There's so many good prospects outside of Cooper Flagg. You got your Dylan Harpers, you know, you have your Ace Baileys. Like, we just needed to get into the top 4. And so that's why I was so excited about the potential of where the Bulls could stand. You also think about us being obviously a big market in Chicago. You know that when the big markets are going well, that the NBA is thriving. The NBA is actually thriving when you have your New York Knicks on the map, when you have your Los Angeles Lakers on the map. And I'm thinking, oh, well, those teams are already taken off. Those teams got their players. They're doing really good in the preseason, or rather the playoffs. What about us? What about the Chicago Bulls? Maybe it's our time now to get Cooper Flagg. Then reality hit back. And I said, oh, well, that didn't last long. We were actually on a live stream the other day, and Pat mentioned the 14th pick, then the 13th. And he said, and then with the 12th pick, no, well, all right, well, that's over. and it was pretty much it. Now, the fact that we lost the coin flip with the Dallas Mavericks for the 11th, I believe the 11th pick, and how they moved all the way up to number 1, do you think that we would have gotten the same situation if we were in their shoes? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think so. And a lot of it has to do with what Stephen said. NBA just feels rigged sometimes. That's the feeling, right? We don't want to sit out here and just say automatically that the NBA is rigged. But you kind of feel like it is. There was an article I just saw the other day where it went into the history of some of these deals, some of the trades that were made or some of the trades that weren't made, and how the team that, you know, was the I would say the loser in the trade ended up getting the first pick. You can date it all the way back to, I believe, the CP3 trade that didn't happen with Los Angeles. And then the Pelicans got a number 1 with that. I believe the Pelicans, that was the Zion Williamson. I could be wrong. That was the Zion Williamson number 1 pick. And then AD went to the Lakers. Pelicans got another number 1 pick. And then you saw the other time where I believe right before this one, there was another time where the NBA, it's almost as if they're planning these things out where it's like, okay, we know that the old guard is leaving, such as LeBron James. We need the Los Angeles Lakers, which is one of the better market teams, one of the better money-making teams, to be relevant. So we're going to bring Luka here. Don't you all worry. We'll give you guys the number 1 pick. And somehow, some way, the Mavs got Cooper Flagg, because let's just be honest, we know Cooper Flagg is going to Dallas. Now, I will say that's a very nice team. I'm not sitting there and saying that the team in itself is going to be a bad team for Cooper Flagg to go to. I think that with Kyrie and with the healthy Anthony Davis, healthy being the magic word for those 2 guys, and then with the Klay Thompson still there and the supporting cast, they could be something to rival when it comes to playoff time, when it comes to next season, if all stays if all is healthy with that team, right? And so that's where I stand with this. I feel like you knew that the Bulls were kind of going to be in that mediocrity. That's where I feel like the Bulls are constantly in mediocrity. We saw the past season and how they ended it out well. We know that the Bulls are always going to be in that 9th to 8th spot. The last couple of seasons, they've been that way in the play-in, and then they lose to the Miami Heat somehow, some way. But we do want to build off of the momentum that we had this year. We saw the progression of Kobe White. We saw the potential of Matas Buzelis, who, in my opinion, I've already said it, I think he has just as much potential as a Cooper Flagg. If you've seen the one-on-one matchups and highlights on YouTube, go see that. I think that before Matas Buzelis kind of fell off a little bit in his year with the G League Ignite, he was going to be talked about as the #1 pick the previous year. Yeah. And so I still feel like we have the potential to be a really good team. We still got the 12th pick. We can pick up somebody special or not special, but that will have an impact. But it won't fast track us into being one of those teams that will, get to the playoffs and be one of the higher seeds.
And see, I think that's my thing with all of this. All of the, if the Bulls just lose one more game, if Josh Giddey doesn't hit this shot, the 11th slot is the slot that got the #1 seed. That's not how odds work.
Yeah.
It still has to fall in your favor. Did it maybe increase the probability or the possibility? But whenever I see if you lose one more game, or if you had gotten this spot outright, you would have gotten moved up to this spot. Like, you're creating a marginal difference, and it still has to fall in your favor. It fell in the Dallas Mavericks' favor this time. Didn't fall in the slot's favor.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it could that have been the Bulls? Could that ping pong? And I don't know if they're still using ping pong balls or computers, whatever it is. But you're talking about odds, whether it's rigged or not, right? Whether we believe it's rigged or not. And if you believe it's rigged, this is a pointless argument. The whole coin flip thing, it's pointless.
It is.
Because if you believe it's rigged, guess what? If the Mavs were 9, we would have been like, oh my God. The Mavs, or if the Mavs had the 10th slot, we'd have been like, oh my goodness, the Mavs had the 10th slot. If the Bulls had just beaten the Mavs, like, if we believe it's rigged, then it is what it is. A coin flip determined the positioning.
Mm-hmm.
And even in losing that coin flip, there is no guarantee that you get the #1 overall pick. In fact, it's not even really better odds that you get the #1 overall pick. You went from 1.7 to 1.8. It's a lottery. So if you're having the rigged argument, you shouldn't even be here. Now, if you want to have the lottery argument, you got to have the conversation on a lottery is probabilistic. It's not deterministic. Yes, I know big words. I know that shocked some of y'all.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like, it's the lottery is, this is the probability that this will fall in your favor. Was the probability that different? 0.1. And it didn't fall in the Bulls' favor. And now all of a sudden the lottery is the worst thing ever. It's the devil. We've seen teams get screwed by the lottery year after year after year. You know what's more important than the lottery? Because we've been teams that have been in the top of the lottery. We had a top 4 pick in the lottery. You know what's more important than the lottery? Getting the right player. That's what it comes down to.
That's true.
All of these think pieces. Hey, listen, if Patrick Williams was the best of the 4 picks taken, will we be caring about the lottery? Unfortunately, Tyrese Halliburton, Tyrese Maxey, Devin Vassell, the list goes on and on and on of all these players taken after Patrick Williams who were better. Your scouting department did a bad job. How many players that are superstar players have been taken 10 through 15? Klay Thompson wasn't a top 5 pick. Draymond Green wasn't a top 5 pick. He one of the best defenders in basketball, and an integral piece of that Warriors team winning.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Butler wasn't a top 5 pick. He out there putting up 40. For every player you can say is a top 5 pick that's a superstar in the NBA, I can give you another player that wasn't a top 5 pick that's a star in the NBA as well. Superstar only if they winning. But like, it's, to me, the outcome of this is, could you have won the Cooper Flag sweepstakes? Sure. Would it have been fun to talk about all offseason? 110%. Does it matter if you get Derek Queen and Derek Queen turns into this dominant player that is a star at the NBA level? No. Right? Like, the Luka went after Trae Young.
Mm-hmm.
Who's better?
Clearly, Luka.
You know what I mean? Like, those are the things for me where it's like, whenever we have this, and I'll say this, I love the fact that the tankers are trying to use this to say, this is why you need to lose. This is why you need to tank. The team that got the #1 overall pick did.
No,
they just got hurt.
Utah keeps getting screwed over. If that's the case, you're not.
Utah's getting screwed.
They're not getting rewarded for tanking.
Where did Utah finish out at? Were they like 11th?
Yeah, I think they got switched out from one of the better teams in the league. Like you can't just depend on tanking. Like the NBA doesn't reward that anymore. That was kind of the whole reason why.
Utah's 5th.
Still,
Utah's 5th.
Right out the realm of those really top players. Like you got screwed again.
Like
it doesn't reward that.
It's one of those things where it's like, yes, it is fun to have the top pick. It's fun to have the #1 overall pick. It's fun where it is easy, right? I would love for it to be easy because I don't believe in Arturas Karnisovas.
Yeah, not at this point.
I would love for it to be easy, but I would also love for them to just go out there and get it right. And you know who got it right? The Dallas Mavericks technically got it right in the second round when they drafted Jalen Brunson. And now the Knicks get to pay the benefits of that. By the way, he's heading to an ECF. Tyrese Halliburton taken after a top 5 pick. He's heading to an ECF. Actually, if I'm being honest with you.
Who else you got?
Are there any top 5 picks that go into the conference finals?
You mean just overall?
The Jokic OKC one is the question mark. Because Jokic was a second round pick. Where was SGA drafted? I feel like SGA
definitely.
SGA was.
SGA went to.
He was the 11th pick. That's a lottery pick. 11th pick. Miles Buzelis. Yeah, that's true. Cat. That's true, Cat. But Cat not leading the way. But I give you that. Cat. Yeah, he's a top 5 pick.
Cat's a good piece. Yeah.
Oh, Cat been hooping. I can't even be mad at Cat. Cat was hooping yesterday.
so again, that's what we're banking on. We're banking on the potential of someone like Amadis. You got to hit on your players if you don't have the obvious #1 pick.
Yeah, Ant
obviously,
Ant,
#1.
Ant that dude. Hey, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. Ant was walking with his tongue out. I was sitting there. I was just like,
Michael Jordan.
God, he got to be your daddy. I don't know who raised you, but he got to be your daddy.
And Jimmy Butler, the lost sons of the Jordan era. The lost sons. Do you know what's funny is like the 2 sons he has, they weren't talented enough to get into the league, and the so so-called
gave him other sons.
Jimmy Butler and Ant.
Yeah, we just gave him other sons. It was like he kind of looks like him. Look how he do. Look how he's walking. Look at the talk. Look at the demeanor. That's a Jordan. That's a Jordan. Hey, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. The Cooper Flag sweepstakes is over, and I would love to say that the Bulls won it, but they didn't. So just go get the pick right. That'd be fun. You know what I mean? It's just if you found a nice piece,
do your research.
Help you win. That'd be fun. Hey, man, appreciate y'all for showing love. As always, for Mr. Media himself, George J. Cinch, your boy, Panther Designer, back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bend down. One love. C-Red.
The best show for Chicago sports.
Go White Sox.
Oh,
we got the Pope. We got the Pope.
It's all right. White Sox versus Cubs.
Pope didn't help us at all last night.
That's all right. Cubs versus Sox is coming up in a week, I think. Oh,
yeah. Do a little live stream for that? Do a little live stream for that. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Peace. I think you're going to be if we win that game.
I swear to God, I don't want to hear your mouth. I don't want to hear it.
What it is, that's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this week. Oh, is that a 3-game set? We got 2 3-game sets against the Cubs again?
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, wow. They don't just hate this rivalry anymore? We do. Oh, you know how long it's been since we had 2 3-game sets against the Cubs?
Yeah, it's been a minute.
We don't do it anymore. It's just 2-2.
Bring it back, baby. Bring it back.
How the Cubs been doing, by the way?
No, they won their last game. A little bit of a losing streak before that.